What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to Last Week in the NBA, the series where I take you through everything that happened this last week around the association. We got a lot to cover, so let's jump into it. And that brings us back here to the spreadsheets. It always brings us back here to the spreadsheets on this channel. For those of you that don't know much about this channel, I build a lot of things on spreadsheets. It kind of helps me articulate things that are going on in the story of the NBA or whatever it is that I'm talking about in my videos, but I also just think it's a fun thing to do. But anyway, we've got a couple things that we're going to cover in this video. We're going to be talking through our peak performers of the week. We'll be taking a look at their weekly stats versus like their yearly stats. We're going to look around the association, see who's leading in certain statistical categories, see if anybody else is rising or falling in any of those. Got some news and highlights to go through. We've got a rookie report and a brand new tab, the standings tab. I've gone and added a couple things over here to try to make the series a little bit more immersive and keep it on the spreadsheet as much as possible. But anyway, let's talk through our peak performers of the week. First player I want to talk about this week is actually Mark Williams. This is obviously a guy that we've seen pretty often in the news as of late, the center for the Charlotte Hornets, but he had a great week. 20.7 points per game for a run, jump, and dunk center, 2 assists, 13.3 rebounds per game, getting you 2 blocks. He shot at 61.5% from the field. So Mark Williams, obviously, the whole trade thing almost happened this year. We found out that his body is probably pretty chronically breaking down, which, look, there's not always much you can do about that. You can be very preventative, but he's probably going to struggle with injuries for a lot of his career. But again, you can minimize those things. You can never really quite get rid of it. I speak from experience with that type of stuff as someone who had a pretty chronic back injury that all culminated into one really elaborate surgery that had to take place at one point or another. But Mark Williams, when he's on the court, man, offensively, he does just about everything. He understands spacing. He knows where to be on the court. I actually saw him making a couple interesting, like, little skip passes off of, like, little pocket pass actions that LaMelo was giving him this week, which I thought was pretty cool. But the rebounding, the block shots, and just, like, the ability to just dunk on everybody because he's got an even bigger standing reach than Wemby does, I think is nuts. The defense, funny enough, you guys hear me say a lot that, like, he is a good defender on the channel. And now, wait. I know, analytically, he's actually really, really poor. But here's the thing, like, we're all smart enough to know that it's just an effort thing, right? It's purely an effort thing, and he's on the Charlotte Hornets. It's a kind of a poorly run organization. We hope that they're cleaning things up right now, and we have a lot of theories that they're kind of cleaning things up right now, but for the time being, it still is what it is. But in the last, like, 2 weeks or so, he has looked pretty motivated out there, so we want to give him credit for that. But Mark Williams, one of your peak performers. Let's move on to the next one. Next guy I'm going to bring up, and this is actually 2 weeks in a row of him, it's Josh Giddey. And now, look, I'm a Bulls fan, so I know I'm trying not to, like, be super biased or anything. I'm really trying, but, like, look at these stats really quick. Almost 22 points per game, 10 assists, 10.5 rebounds, 1 steal, and 1.5 blocks, shooting at 55% from the field and almost 70% from 3. Josh Giddey is on an absolute tear right now, and so you guys have heard me say I'm a big Josh Giddey guy. He's like the one guy in the team that I said I don't want to get rid of right now, and I have a lot of people ask me, like, oh, why, like, you really think Josh Giddey's your point guard of the future? And I'm like, why not? And people often go like, well, like, is he really going to be your number 1 scoring option? I'm like, no. They're like, your number 2? Probably not. Like, I don't understand this idea that, like, if somebody's not scoring a ton of points that they're not, like, super valuable, because Josh Giddey quite literally does everything but score a ton of points. And recently he's been doing so just because, look, there's not as many go-to scorers on the team anymore. And dude's just kind of a hooper. Like, he just kind of knows where to be all the time, makes the right play consistently. The turnovers are always going to be a little bit high with him. He does try to force the issue quite a bit, but he's still a young guy. I'm ready to give him a lot of time to kind of figure that stuff out, especially on a team that doesn't make a ton of sense build-wise. It's like he's playing with how many, like, 8 other point guards it feels like out there. But his ability to get to the hoop right now with a bunch of different and creative moves, the way he uses his height to get things going. He's playing with and without the basketball to score, which is pretty cool because he makes a lot of smart cuts. I just really like watching him play. He's one of my favorite players in the NBA, and that was before he got to the Bulls. And I know defensively he doesn't always stand in front of people the best because he doesn't have a ton of lateral quickness, but he makes a lot of other big plays because of his size and his smarts. So I'm happy with Josh Giddey going forward, and I think he's a guy that we should really keep an eye on as he continues to evolve. And it all goes back to I was really happy with the return for Caruso because of this. I know people are like, they didn't get a first round pick or whatever. As I'll continue to say on this channel, I'd rather have a young player that I already know is good rather than some pick for someone I don't know who it is right now, that's just always going to be more valuable. So Josh Giddey, that's the one player I'm excited to have on the Bulls going forward. I'm lying about that. Lonzo Ball is another guy that I just like having on the team because I like his game a lot. But regardless, Josh Giddey, hooping right now. Pay attention, man. Next guy on the list, we have got Mr. Bradley Beal. If I could actually pull him up on the screen. There we go. This last week, 27 points per game, 6 assists, 4.5 rebounds, a steal, half a block, shooting at 60% from the field. And in this last week, almost 63% from three. So Bradley Beal's kind of just been cooking since the trade deadline. And look, he's had a good year overall. If we take a look at his stats for this season, 18 points per game, 3 assists, 3 rebounds, 1 steal, half a block, 50% from the field, 40% from three. So yeah, no, Bradley Beal's having a pretty dang good season. I see some people go, he's making $50 million a year and all this. Yes, you're correct. Does he probably deserve $50 million? Probably not. If you told me it was 40 and you have Devin Booker and KD on the team, I'm not really tripping about that. I've told people before because they're like, oh, he's only getting 18 points a game. There's only like 10 instances ever of 3 guys on a single NBA team scoring 20 points per game. Like, it just doesn't happen very much. And in a lot of those instances, it's like guys scoring like 22 points, 21 points, and 20 points. It's all really close. You got KD and Booker each putting up like 26, 27 each. So, like, you put those 3 together and they become like the 3rd highest scoring duo ever. It's not that hard to comprehend. It's just basic math. There's only so many shots to take in a game. So Bradley Beal doing what he does out there, really, really good. If you take a look at some of his advanced analytics, defensively, it's kind of meh. Offensively, it's good, right? It is what it is. This Phoenix Suns team is really frustrating at this point, and we're going to talk about it later in the video when we actually talk about each team in the standings report. But I don't know. I don't think it's like a Bradley Beal issue for sure. If you want to sit there and complain and be like a mush brain and say, oh yeah, Bradley Beal, he makes too much money, it's like, sure, cool, good for you. This team should still be successful. There's other reasons that this team isn't working right now, and again, we'll talk about it. But Bradley Beal himself going and getting buckets, it'd just be nice if somebody could set him up every once in a while for something. But anyway, let's move on to the last guy. Final guy we're going to talk about, and I know Kings fans are excited about this one. Zach LaVine is hooping in Sacramento right now. He was like the fastest player to score like a certain amount of points and a certain amount of threes or something like that in Kings history. This last week, 28 points per game, 3 assists, almost 6 rebounds, a steal a game, shooting at 62% from the field, almost 64% from three. We had that one game where he went like 10 for 12 from three or something stupid like that. Dude was just going nuclear. Kings fans, this is Zach LaVine, right? He's just an offensive fire hose. Like, it's just go, go, go. We all know Zach LaVine's one of the best offensive players in the NBA. He's been having just a ridiculous offensive season. He can play with or without the basketball, can get a shot off from anywhere, can get to the hoop whenever. He's strong. The people that are still saying like his contract isn't worth it, I don't understand that either. I just don't think you're thinking critically enough. I don't think I could name you like 6 or 7 better offensive players in the NBA than Zach LaVine. I just truly don't think I could do that. And so you put him on a good basketball team, which I suggested teams do at the deadline. And yes, maybe I'm a salty Bulls fan that didn't get anything really for Zach LaVine at the deadline, which of course I am. But I'm just so convinced if you put this guy on like an actual good team, like, sorry, Sacramento, you've got an interesting roster, but it just doesn't make a ton of sense right now. But I think you guys did okay at the deadline overall. I just think he would have been really helpful. Obviously, the Warriors ended up with Jimmy Butler, and that's going really well right now, so that's good for them. Like, I could have easily put Steph Curry on the list for this week, but I try to put some lesser-known names on there instead of just SGA and Jokic every week. But I don't know. I feel like he could have gone to a contending team and would have been extremely helpful to somebody because he just literally cannot be stopped offensively, and that's a pretty valuable asset to have. But anyway, those are our player spotlights or whatever you want to call them for the week. Let's go take a look around the association. As always, we have our games to qualify here. We're up to 40. Got to play in 40 games to make it on our list. And then as always, you got to take at least 5 shots per game for the field goal percentage ranking and 3 threes a game to come up on our 3-point percentage leader. Our points per game leaders pretty much staying consistently where they are. Look, there's Booker and Durant right there, almost getting you about 26 points a game. So Bradley Beal's 18. Yeah, you take that every single time. I don't actually know if there's anyone else missing from this. Oh, Luka would be on the list, apparently, if he had played more games. He's pretty close to there. He would be where Booker is, but just hasn't played enough games this year. Our assists per game, it's staying pretty consistent with Trae Young, Jokic, Cade Cunningham. Tyrese Halliburton has passed LeBron now, and that doesn't surprise me because obviously Austin Reeves has been taking more ball handling duties, and Luka's on the team now. Still can't believe that. I feel like I could make like 100 videos talking about that. It blows my mind so much. But anyway, so not surprised to see LeBron falling a little bit on that list as he's not having to do quite as much for the team. And man, I should just shout out LeBron really quick. Like, this is coming from a guy that just hated LeBron growing up. Like, hated is a strong word, but like as a child, he stood between me and my team being good at all times, so he just like bothered me, right? But man, LeBron is just doing everything for this team right now. Defensively, he's so in position. Like, offensively, he's just always in the right spot as well. It's just like chef's kiss to what he's able to do. It's amazing. Our rebounding leaders staying the same: Sabonis, Towns, Jokic, because Jokic is everywhere. If I were to pull him up on here, you'll see he appears pretty much everywhere along these top rankings because he's just the greatest. Then we got Zubats and Kessler again. Steals per game, Dyson Daniels. Keep on doing what you're doing, Dyson. Then we still got Shea, Jokic, Maxey, and then Chris Dunn, who low-key, if I had to pick like defensive player of the year candidates at this point, now that Wemby won't be there, I would give it to Chris Dunn. Honestly, I just think what he does on the basketball court defensively is that great. You might put Jaren Jackson second, and then I feel like Dyson Daniels might just get it because of the steals number is just that insane, and the deflections, which, don't get me wrong, that's incredibly impressive what he does defensively, and he does so much so well, and it's so many little things too, like how he navigates screens, I think are so impressive. Like, those are things that I learned all the time in college, and it's the little things that I think helped me have some success. But no, Dyson's awesome. So I wouldn't be surprised if he got Defensive Player of the Year. Our blocks leaders, Wemby's still on the list for now. Hope you get better soon, my boy. Kessler, Davis, Brook Lopez, Daniel Gafford. Yep, that's who you're going to continue to find. Our field goal percentage leaders, not changing much at all here. Walker Kessler, Jared Allen, Daniel Gafford, Jalen Duren. And then I'm guessing Lively's off the list now due to games played or something. Yeah, that's what I'm guessing. So Rudy Gobert finds himself there. And then our three-point shooting leaders, Luke Kennard still in first. Torian Prince is here, Keon Ellis, Ty Jerome, and then Jokic. How dare you fall all the way to 5 in three-point shooting? He had a 16% week from three, man, in 3 games. Not acceptable, Jokic. You're not allowed to miss shots. You know that's the rules. Nothing like that for Jokic. But anyway, that's our look around the association. Let's jump into the news and highlights. Kind of a slow week for news, but we're going to dive into it anyway. First things first, Andre Iguodala had his jersey retired by the Golden State Warriors. The number 9 is retired. I believe he won 4 titles with them, won the Finals MVP famously. Iggy was an awesome player. We all know that, but I don't want to be the one to start these conversations, but I always have to ask, does this feel like jersey retirement worthy? Like, I know he was kind of the first player to kind of like pick the Golden State Warriors, like, yep, this is where I'm going to go in free agency, and they started to get good, right? Obviously, they changed the coach and Steve Kerr, and that kick-started a lot of things, as well as they implemented the famous system that they still run today, kind of the Warriors offense, but he really wasn't there, like, that long, and for a guy that, like, didn't make any all-star games or anything, like, look, you can retire a jersey for whatever reason. Like, do I really care at the end of the day? But I'm just curious what you guys think, because this is like an internet conversation, right? I mean, we all know that Iggy did a lot for this team. I mean, hell, if I pull him up on here, by the way, I went and got an account for us to use on here, so I went and bought a second account, one I use for my business, that's on my computer, and then I got one for here on Dunks and Threes. So we can pull up Andre Iguodala now, and we can take a look at like some of his actual numbers over his career with Golden State. Like, even in the later years, like 98th percentile defensively, he was up there, 90th percentile with them, 80th percentile, 87th, like above average offensively, 88th. These couple years here in Philly, and then he went to Denver, and that first year with Golden State, 82nd percentile offensively, 98th defensively, 93rd or 96th percentile overall across the NBA. Like, don't get it twisted. Andre Iguodala was an awesome basketball player. Look at this as a rookie. Look at this, 97th percentile defensively, 68th offensively, 90th overall, like as a rookie. That's insane. Andre Iguodala was that dude, man. He really, really was. So, but I don't know, just thought it was interesting, and just congratulations to him. What a career he had, man. What a fun guy. And man, 2K monster. Loved him in 2K. Next thing we got to talk about here, Joel Embiid, turn away for a bit. Philly fans, it's been a rough year. Obviously, they've shut Embiid down. You needed to. It was hard to watch him at this point. And they're talking about all these scary things that they might have to like break his hip to like fix his leg and all these weird experimental procedures. I know there were the rumors going around like they might force him to medically retire or something so he can get off his contract. I don't think any of that's happening. I don't think they're moving Embiid. I've seen some Sixers fans be like, we got to trade Paul George. So reactionary. Just like calm the fuck down for a second. Relax. Paul George has had a pretty amazing basketball career. Y'all were super excited to get him. And look, one really discombobulated season where your best player can't move. Like Tyrese Maxey can't even score efficiently right now. And the team's just kind of like bleh, all over the place. Paul George is also injured. It looks like they should shut him down as well. I don't know why they're forcing him to play through this stuff at this point. It just doesn't really make sense to me. But just relax. Paul George is a pretty damn good basketball player, so just chill a little bit. But man, it's scary for Embiid, man. It's scary. It's just the injuries are hard. I'm just glad I don't have to watch him play anymore this year. It's not because I don't like him. It's just like it was painful to watch him play just because it made my body like hurt to try to watch him move. So we wish Joel Embiid a speedy recovery. The NBA is obviously better with him in there. And some more unfortunate news. We heard about Greg Popovich and that he was kind of delaying coming back because of the health. And it sounds like he's just not coming back at all this year, which probably makes sense. It sounds like he's going to try to come back later, which is exciting. I don't want it to be the end of Popovich. I know none of us do. Obviously, Wemby's also done for the season. Fox is playing through some injuries. There's a lot of development that needs to happen with this young team, and they've still got a long way to go. Like, I know in the modern day, we're all very impatient. We all want things to happen instantly. It's just not how it works, right? Rookies don't win it that early on, right? That's why a lot of NBA teams don't buy into the Thunder right now. And remember, the Thunder were like really, really good last season. And yes, they fixed a lot of their flaws that they had, but we looked at that team and, you know, they got taken apart by a team in the playoffs. So people try to get success too quickly. And like Wemby doesn't have to be winning titles right now. He's 20 years old, right? It's not a big deal. But we want Popovich to get healthy. I hope that this isn't the way that we say goodbye to him. But yeah, we just really hope he gets better soon, man. Rest up, Popovich. Rest up. Oh, I did skip Steph Curry at a 56-point game because the Warriors are just like cooking right now. I mean, I can pull up Steph Curry's numbers from this week. Like, easily could have highlighted him. 32 points per game, 7 assists, 4 rebounds, a steal and a half, 57 from the field, 46% from 3. He's sure liking having competent basketball play around him and 2 really smart guys in Jimmy Butler and Draymond Green. Have you guys seen the assist numbers that team is putting up right now, by the way? It's insane. I believe they're first in the NBA since trading for Jimmy Butler and just assists, because like everybody knows where to cut like at all times, and there's just like so much communication happening on the court when I watch it, and I can tell because there's a lot of pointing and like kind of like head nodding and like, yep, I know where to be. And Draymond Green has even said like, look, him and Curry are working well, but me and Jimmy are really clicking right now. And look, that's just smart basketball players, right? It just is. Is this team going to win a finals? Never going to count out a Steph Curry team. Just being real with you, never going to count out a Steph Curry team because that's how good this guy is at basketball, and he's got a couple other good players around him. Obviously, some other holes, but hey, shout out Steph, man. Still putting up 56. Some better news to move on to. Jordan Miller just got a 4-year, $8.3 million deal. I'm going to guess, they waived Marjon Beauchamp, by the way. Unfortunate for him, just hasn't quite really figured it out in the NBA. Add him to the statistics of guys that get drafted first round and just it never clicks. It happens. We found a success rate of guys that go in the first round happens only like 22% of the time or something in that study we did. Isn't that crazy? Only like 22% of first round picks like make it past like their rookie deal. And stick like with that team. It's crazy. But Jordan Miller was one of those guys that we saw. I can pull up his stats over here for the season. It's not going to be anything crazy at all. But Jordan Miller was that summer league dude that was just really cooking. And we were like, this guy should get an NBA deal. And the Clippers have said they've seen enough, right? It's 5 points a game, an assist, almost 2 rebounds. Not very efficient right now, not playing a ton of minutes, but you've got to 6'7", 6'8", small forward that's showing some promise that you found, and you're starting to develop him. And so I'm guessing they gave him kind of a Jose Alvarado type of deal where it's like a pretty small amount of money over 4 years where technically none of them are guaranteed at any point, but if he does figure it out, he's a super valuable player in contract to have, and if he doesn't, well, they can get rid of him at any single point. But just credit to him for making the roster, man. That's super exciting. And then just before I started recording, we found out the same thing with Justin Champagnie here. I was adding his image to the database because I knew I didn't have him and I wanted to pull him up at one point in this video. Justin Champagnie, one of the more underrated players out here. If you're a Wizards fan, you probably appreciate this guy quite a bit. 7.5 points per game, almost an assist, getting you almost 5 rebounds for a guy that's really not that big. Shooting it decent amount above league average from 3, having a nice field goal percentage as well. But like really where he stands out, like I'm willing to bet, I'm going to guess above 80th percentile defensively right here. Let's pull up Justin Champagnie here. 89th percentile defensively. 71st percentile overall as like NBA player. So he's above average offensively and defensively. Like dude's kind of elite. Like this is an underrated player, man. I want to shout out to Justin Champagnie. Like both him and his brother, they just keep finding ways, man, to make impacts on basketball teams. Like how is Julian doing this year? If we can pull him up, similar numbers, honestly. I don't have a Julian picture either. Damn. Hate to see it, but no, shout out Justin Champagnie, earning a new contract. Very, very excited for him. But anyway, let's move on to the rookie report. Alrighty, y'all, here we are at the rookie report. As always, these are ordered from leaders in points per game because we found that more often than not, that's usually the biggest indicator of who wins rookie of the year in the NBA. Again, we have a 40 games minimum to qualify for this. If we were to take this off, you see guys like Quentin Post jump into here. That makes a lot of sense. Other guys like Jared McCain, obviously, rest in peace, our sweet prince. We hope you get back soon. I'm enjoying seeing the TikToks and everything. Honestly, I do. Dude's just having fun, so a lot of respect to him. But regardless, we're going to go through each guys, talk about the week that they had, and I feel like I haven't said this on the channel recently enough, and it's something that I try to keep promoting so that you guys can promote the right things. These are rookies. These are young players. None of these guys are perfect, right? And also, there's a lot of time for them to grow. They're going to learn a lot of things, get a lot better, so patience. Like okay, so Stephon Castle's the first one, right? Stephon Castle didn't have a great week, but he had some really good moments this week. And so let's take a look, right? 13 points per game. I try to always remember, like, I read a lot of box scores, right? So I always try to guess kind of where the weekly stats came up. Not very efficient, still had quite a few turnovers and such, but he had some pretty bright spots this week and showed some nice moves. We talked about the developments of him, like adding a couple more like stop and go type moves, the Euro, the floaters. Like we're seeing him add to his game, right? The shot is starting to look better. Still a little bit of a kink that we need to work out in there, but I could sit here and find a lot of issues with his game, right? I promise you I could, and that's not because I dislike him. I went into this draft saying, hey, Stephon Castle, if he could shoot, was the #1 pick in this draft this year. That's just how good this guy was, and I think we're seeing that right now. And he ended up in a good place. That's going to develop him well. That's very exciting, but I'd rather celebrate kind of the things that's going well for him right now because I think that's more important at this point. Like we're seeing a really good player. He's probably going to win Rookie of the Year at this point and probably deservedly so. But still a lot of room to grow. So just keep that in mind that he's not perfect and he's got a lot of time. So just keep that in mind. Alex Sarr, I believe he only played in 1 game again this week. Yes, that's correct. 10 points, 3 rebounds. They just never put him around the rim. It's so frustrating to watch. I don't know why. Don't worry about the field goal percentage. It's 1 game this week. Defensively, still love everything that he can do. Risa Shea, I want to say the 3-point shot is still falling for him right now, and things are still going pretty good since coming back with injury. Yep. There we go. 11 points. I'm not worried about this field goal percentage right now. I'm not really too worried about many of the field goal percentages at this point as a rookie. Like efficiency, like if it's going well, that's awesome. But if it's not, I don't care too much because you're a rookie. But 11 points, 5 rebounds, shooting it well from 3. It's a couple weeks in a row, man, that things have been looking pretty good for him. So exciting there. Jalen Wells, speaking of great efficiency, is back on his efficiency grind. I know that for sure. 13.5 points, like just shooting the shit out of the basketball through 4 games, playing 30 minutes a night. Jalen Wells, man. Honestly, if I had to pick one, I might put Wells over Castle I might, but it's close. It's very, very close. I know Edie's like field goal percentage was good this week. Where are we at? 10 points, 9 rebounds, playing kind of that 6th, 7th man role, even though he starts in terms of minutes, I'm saying, and shot the hell out of the basketball this week. Just a lot of putback opportunities. Let's talk about the other Wizards rookie, Bub Carrington. I'm pretty sure he didn't have a great week. Well, counting stats wise, not horrible. 9, 3.5 assists, almost 5 rebounds. Like, yeah, I'll take that. The efficiency wasn't very good, but look, he plays for the Wizards, and he's a rookie point guard. I'm not tripping about that. Don't connect, still not getting a ton of burn out there right now, and you're kind of seeing that reflected in the counting stats here, shooting a respectable percentage from 3. We'll take that. He should be a good player long term, but they've got a lot of other people at those positions. I'd still find a way to get him on the court, but that's just me. I feel like Eves Missy had a better week this week. Yeah, he did. There we go. Now we're back to some Eves Missy type stuff. 13 points per game, 10 rebounds. That's awesome. Good field goal percentage. No complaints at all. Kalo Ware, I think the 3-point percentage is still down right now. Okay, it's not horrible. 33%, but 65% from the field. I think the early days of Ware, which was only a couple weeks ago, of him being thrown into the game and him shooting the shit out of the 3-ball, because right now he's about at league average for the season, as you can see right here. I think that was more of an anomaly. I was pretty surprised to see him shooting the ball that well early. Like, I think he will become a decent shooter. I just think it's going to take a little bit more time, but hey, like, we take these numbers. 4 games this week, 10 points, almost 12 rebounds, like 65 from the field. Good stuff. Keep developing in Miami. Keyshawn George, let's pull him up here. Honestly, I didn't remember much of him this week. Four games. A lot of his games just kind of blend in. 9 points, 4.5 assists. Oh, I take that actually. 3.5 rebounds, not too shabby, and some nice steal and block numbers. So we celebrate that this week and hope that I don't know, man. We just hope the Wizards can clean it up for these young guys, man, because it's hard. Tristan Da Silva's been pretty rough. The Magic have just been rough in general. Yeah, no, like only 10 minutes across 3 games, 1 point, poor efficiency. He's a smart guy. Hopefully they figure it out. This team's just not designed for them to have success right now. We'll talk about the Magic more later this video. Jacoby Walter, watching his defense is a little bit hard right now, and yeah, the offense wasn't much better. 5 points, just, ugh, blah, blah, blah. We're just going to throw this week away. Isaiah Collier. This guy, 8 points a game in the last week, 8 assists, 3 rebounds. That's awesome. But man, does he turn the ball over and does he do some dumb stuff on the court? Like, and that's exactly what I expected out of him. It's just, I'm confused. Like, are the Jazz just like really trying? Maybe the Jazz are just really trying hard to tank at this point, which fair enough. Let's see what we got out of him. He's a really interesting prospect, but like, he just does not seem to have any clue what's happening out there on the basketball court. And I'm not saying that to be mean. I'm just trying to be like an evaluator of him. Like, I'm rooting for his success. He is an interesting player that I'd be interested in developing, but I don't know. There's a lot of stuff happening with him on the court, that's for sure. Filipowski, a guy I wasn't very high on, but man, he's having a couple decent weeks in a row. 13 points per game this week. Wow, I didn't even think it was that high. Shooting the ball well from 3 and from the field. Why does he like to like get out and transition low key as well? I don't know. It's very, very interesting. And then my boy Matas, I know he didn't have a great week this week. Nope. 10 points, we take it. Is always out there running. That's great. Yeah, just not super excited as a Bulls fan for Matas. That's just my thing here. Other guys that we can bring up and talk about. Let's bring up Reed Shepherd. We're gonna keep it quick. Just still not going great this week. If I can actually. Let me bring up one thing, because this is a little look into the business side of AVC quick. So I download a lot of like analytics for my channel every single week, and I take a look at them. And one of the things I see is like I count like comments and stuff, like engagement, things like that. And I was looking at my analytics and I saw like a total comments number actually like going negative, like over like the past like 30 days, and I was like, wait, how is that even possible? That doesn't make any sense. And what I found was that people were going back to like my ideal off-season videos and some of my season preview videos for the Houston Rockets, and that people are deleting their Reed Shepherd comments where they're like, you don't understand, Reed Shepherd's gonna be a dog. You guys are cowards. You damn cowards, because I can see what's going on. Like, I can see what's happening. So I looked into it and I was like, oh my God. Like, look, Reed Shepherd's having a rough season. Don't give up on him so quick. If you're going to be that opinionated about that this guy's going to be good, don't quit on him after his rookie season. Jesus Christ. Like, I know I was the guy going in and telling everyone, guys, this guy's going to be pretty rough. Like, I'm pretty positive about that. And most people I talk to are telling me the exact same thing. Like, look, I'm gonna put that feather in my cap because yes, I was correct about that. But like, I'm not giving up on the kid either. God damn, just like have some patience. But anyway, I just found that really interesting. If you were a Reed Shepherd believer, put your comments back. Hold your take. Hold your take. Just say you were wrong about it. You could comment back and say, okay, my bad. I'd respect that. Ron Holland, still just don't like watching him play right now, but we'll just wait. We'll wait. Hey, good field goal percentage. Not great from 3 this week. They played 5 games this week. Damn. I guess I do feel like I watched a lot of Cade highlights this week, so maybe that's fair. Yeah, love the energy. Just need a little bit more from the development side for him. Salon, it's not going good for him right now. No, oh yeah, no, not good. Not good. We're gonna move on from Tajon Salon. We hope the best for him. Klingon, let's get Klingon on the court more, and more importantly, let him be a hub. I've seen so many times where he catches the ball like at that elbow, kind of the Sabonis spot, and he's looking, he's reading. Ooh, little pocket pass. Ooh, little pass here. Nice. Those are the things that I saw when I did my breakdowns of him last year. Let's get him involved more. Let's get him involved more. And please, who's ever like his dietitian, get him in shape. I don't understand what's so difficult about this. Somebody just like track his calories or whatever, because dude's looking a little hefty, and I'm not saying that to be mean, just saying. Rob Dillingham. Not going the best right now. His role's getting diminished a little bit, and that's probably going to lead to lower numbers for him because he's one of those guys that kind of needs to get consistent looks for things. I still want him on the basketball court. I think it's better if him and the rookies, and yes, Timberwolves fans will talk about the other 2 Timberwolves rookies. My opinion is not changing. Keep the 3 rookies coming in. Start one of them, honestly. I'm starting one of them, and you guys know which one I'm going to talk about. It's the guy that I've been trying to tell you guys about since the offseason. Now we're finally getting his minutes, and I know the Timberwolves fans out there like, AVC, you were correct. He's that dude. Like, we need him on the court. We'll talk about him, but keep Rob on the court. Keep him as like a 7th man or something. I know DiVincenzo's back, so maybe you move him to like 8th or something. Rather have him on the court. Keep the pace going. I think it's important. Cody Williams. He had a nice backdoor dunk this week. These are one of the better weeks that he's had, so Cody, we're not giving up on you. Not giving up on you. I didn't think it was going to be great, but we're not giving up on you. Who else do we want to talk about? Did Devin Carter get on the court at all this week? He did. For 6 minutes. Scored 9 points, too, and good efficiency. See? Celebrate Devin Carter. There we go. We want to celebrate him. Other people to look at. Let's take a look at Terrence Shannon, man. Let's take a look at old Terrence Shannon Jr. This last week, 16.5 points per game. Obviously had the one really big game when Ant was out, and they actually started him. The 2.5 assists, 5 rebounds, shooting the shit out of the basketball right now across 4 games. That's pretty nuts for only 26 minutes. It's really, really good. And you guys saw what I meant when I did the evaluation of him, and I'm like, this guy's like one of the best transition players I've ever seen. Timberwolves fans, let him know in the comments. When he gets the ball, like on a defensive rebound, or he's just leaking out, he takes off like a torpedo. It is nuts. He is not passing that basketball. He's like, I am going all the way to the rim, and nobody can stop me because I'm too athletic and I've got too much balance. It's pretty crazy. It is so much fun to watch. Like, literally, when I watch the film, I go, damn, when he takes off. It is hilarious. It is an odd body movement, but he does it. Other guys we want to talk about here. Who do we want to go to? I'm just looking. AJ Mitchell still isn't back yet. Iguodaro's not playing a ton of minutes. Quentin Post. Yeah, obviously we should talk about Quentin Post. He continues to impress. 4 games this week, 13 points, 6 rebounds, a steal and a half, shooting the ball well from 3. Warriors fans, I'm telling you, I didn't like Trace Jackson Davis. I was like, not really seeing it with him. Get excited about this guy. I like him. I know he was like at the bottom of my big board that I did in the offseason, where I was like, hey, because I think there was only like 40 names on my big board, because I was like, look, I just don't see 60 NBA players or 60 guys with potential to be in the NBA in this class. I believe Post was like my 40th or something. I was like, no, I could see this guy working out just because he seems smart and he's a big body. I think it's going to work out for this guy, man. I think he's got a career ahead of him. I don't know if it's a starter, but I like him. I like him a lot. We should always check in on Justin Edwards because, I don't know, I just think he's going to have a career ahead of him this week. Solid week, 22 minutes per game, got you 5 points, solid efficiency overall. We totally take that. And yes, Timberwolves fans, let's get to him. Jalen Clark, your favorite little defensive energizer bunny. Technically not a rookie, right? Because he was on the team last year, and that throws me off just a little bit. But shot the shit out of the basketball again this week. I'm not really buying the jumper on this guy, but we'll see. Defensively, though, dude, dude's energized, and I love it. So I think you play him. I think you start Terrence Shannon. I'm so serious. I would start him over McDaniels at this point. I just would. Or don't start Conley. Play Terrence Shannon with Anthony Edwards and McDaniels, just because both of them can handle the rock at least a little bit. Conley's pretty rough around the edges right now, but I don't know. Terrence Shannon Jr. shouldn't be getting less than like 28 minutes per game. Get Clark and Dillingham out there, and I think you could have a good thing. But anyway, that's our rookie report. Let's move on to the standings. What is this? What is this? I've got a new tab, y'all. I've got a brand new tab for you guys to look at right here. Your boy's been messing around with some things. He was like, oh, you know what? Let me go out and let me try to, can I like delete this column? There we go. Now it feels a little more symmetrical and all that jazz. I could go and delete this as well. You guys can see some live spreadsheet cleanup right here. Look at that. This is, oh geez. Nope, there was stuff down there. There was a reason I was keeping it. Calm down, calm down. We fixed it. We fixed it. Okay. No, I didn't want to keep going back to Google and stuff. I want to evolve this sheet, and this allows me to kind of take some more notes as the week goes on. This is an ever-changing and dynamic board where it gives us a little bit more information to look at as well, which I think is kind of awesome. I just included the point differentiators, and I've got another tab where I'm taking notes on people throughout the week, so if I see something interesting about a team, I can bring it up in the standings. But anyway, let's talk about it. Cleveland. Don't have a lot of interesting things to say about them. How about that crazy comeback against them and the Celtics? I think the series went 2-2, right? I believe it went 2-2, or wait, no, they don't play 4 times, do they? No, they don't. So who's winning in that series? I don't remember, but Cleveland was getting their asses rotated by the Celtics, and they came back and made it happen. So hey, 9 in a row. They're winning by a differentiator of 11.6, 9-1 in their last 10. Pretty crazy, pretty crazy. We got the Celtics here. Still not worried about the Boston Celtics. I said, man, they played a lot of minutes to lose that game to Cleveland. They only played like really 6 guys, and I know a 7th and 8th man kind of got in the game, but they really didn't play very much, so that was a lot to lose those games. A lot of them. Let's see what else we got here. We got the Knicks here. They've been winning a bunch as of late. OG Anunoby hit a dubski. He hit a nice little game winner. That was pretty awesome to see. Mitchell Robinson, close to coming back. That could be a huge thing come playoff time for them. Mitchell Robinson, if y'all don't remember, one of the best rebounders we have in the NBA, blocks a shit ton of shots. Will he be healthy? Guess we'll find out. The Milwaukee Bucks, things are like quietly going well for them. Kyle Kuzma, can we get a report on how Kyle Kuzma was this week? Because I don't remember seeing anything of him, but I feel like people have been saying that Kyle Kuzma's been okay. Efficiency wise, no, he has not. So I don't know what people are talking about then, because yeah, I feel like I haven't seen much of Kyle Kuzma so far. But Chris Middleton and Marcus Smart, nice little additions for the Wizards down here. We're just gonna try to say something nice about them. The Indiana Pacers, 5-5 this week. I said, do we need to have a conversation about starting Ben Shepherd? Just relax for a second. I'm not the biggest Aaron Nesmith guy. I like the energy that he plays with. I can't help but wonder if the team would flow even just a little bit better with Ben Shepherd playing more with the starters. And just hear me out for a second. Like, obviously his defensive skills and his energy, that's what he brings. Offensively, he doesn't really bring much at all. But also when he's in offensively, he doesn't hesitate with things. Like, if he catches the ball wide open in the corner, he's not gonna take the shot almost ever. It's kind of like, okay, I'm gonna rip and go to the hoop and make the pass to the next good player, because I play with 4 other really good offensive players on my team. And I just feel like that's more valuable to the team. So it's just a little rotation thing that I've noticed. Are we reading this correctly? The Pistons right here in the 6th seed, they're 9-1 in their last 10 games. It's all because Malik Beasley. It's all Malik Beasley. I've been trying to tell you guys, he's the key. He's the key. I tried to tell you in the offseason. Feather in my cap for that one as well. But no, Cade Cunningham's awesome. Asar Thompson's awesome. Malik Beasley's awesome. Jalen Duren's starting to play some defense and gets a shit ton of rebounds. Tobias Harris has been hot now, which is a big reason why things are going well for them. So Pistons, man. Pistons. And they've been playing Tim Hardaway Jr. a little bit less than Malik Beasley now, which, we've been saying it all season. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Going down to the sad teams down here, the Miami Heat. We're not really sure what's going to go on with this one. I don't know. It's a weird team. I'm so curious to see what happens to them in the offseason. Very, very curious. Orlando Magic. We got news that Suggs is going to be out for a little bit today. It's hard. it's hard. We were talking about in the Discord. Go join the Discord if you haven't already. We've got a very prominent Magic fan in there that was kind of saying, like, look, like Franz and Paolo, like, yes, they've got their strengths and weaknesses and everything, but yeah, this team just, it's not right for them. And this is obviously something we've been saying on the channel this whole season. I think the front office failed this group a little bit this year. Injuries are hard. Right? Injuries are hard. Yes, you could say there was one point where they were all the way up here and then injuries have taken them down to here. That's true. I think we're all smart enough to know, though, that this team just does not have offense. Like, there's just not enough offense on the team. It's just that plain and simple. The Contavious Caldwell-Pope thing just didn't make sense at the time. That was something that we flagged on the channel. Hasn't been a great thing for them, and they're just not helping their young guys. You've identified two really good young players. Franz is awesome. Franz is a very, very good basketball player. Like, I'm putting him above Paolo on my list. I just am. There's a lot of flaws with Paolo, but he's also extremely young. Give him time. Same with Franz. But you've identified these good young players. Suggs is an interesting player as well. Go get them some help now. It doesn't have to be the permanent answer. Go get a Kobe White. Why not? Just go get some help. Go get a Colin Sexton, Anthony Simons. They were there. You just needed to go get them. And it's just, I don't know. It's frustrating. It's frustrating. But it's a young group. You move on to next season. Please develop Jet Howard, please. I promise you this guy can be something. Just give him the minutes. The Atlanta Hawks, I wrote, they didn't want to guard Andrew Wiggins. There was just one game I was watching this week where, like, they were playing the Heat, and they just, like, they put Trae Young on Wiggins, and Trae Young sat in the paint, which, look, let's just think that through really quick. Let's just say, yeah, you wanted to help Trae Young out defensively by just hiding him. Is the best idea to just store him in the paint and wait? Is that really what we want to do with Trae Young? Like, is that who I want waiting at the rim for me? Because me, AVC, is like, cool, I'm going to the rim, right? Like, that's fine. But yeah, they just kind of left Andrew Wiggins there, and he just kind of made him pay in that game. So I don't know what was going on there. The Bulls here, 3-7, and it's not happening. We're 2.5 games still away from falling out of the play, and I'm going to have to watch another 10-seeded Bulls team. I can't believe it, but I did write Josh Giddey is nuts, so shout out Josh Giddey. The Sixers, what did I write about you guys? It's over, and I hate you, and that is accurate, because the Bulls played the Sixers, they beat their brains in, and the Sixers just can't get it together, and they're not going to catch the Bulls, and I'm going to have like the 9th pick in the draft again this year, and I hate my life. So I hate you, Sixers. I really, really do. The Brooklyn Nets, they've been pressing like full court for a lot of games recently, which I think is kind of interesting. This team just does not quit, which I think is going to serve them very, very well in the long run. How many of these players are going to be here long term? I don't know. Also, Cam Thomas is back, so that's cool. Toronto Raptors, y'all piss me off too, because y'all also just lost to the Bulls this week. Like, come on now. Put it together. Win some basketball games. I'm trying to drop here, so I don't know. Y'all piss me off. And then the Hornets and Wizards, you guys exist. I do like seeing Marcus Smart and Chris Middleton on this team now. Like, Jordan Poole continues to kind of hoop a little bit more. And look, this team just needs to win some basketball games, right? So shout out 3-7. We'll take that. Moving on to the West with the Oklahoma City Thunder. I just wrote every player plays every position. At this point, that's just what I'm seeing. Like, I'm seeing Isaiah Hartenstein switch on to point guards. Like, I saw that happen this week, and I was like, oh, geez, we're fucked. Like, everybody's fucked. It's just, I don't know. It's over for people. They're just crushing everybody. Now, I don't think they're just going to win everything come playoff time, necessarily. I don't think they're that much better than anybody else, but man, crazy. Looking at the Nuggets, we've got them up to the 2nd seed now. I wrote, did Zeke fool us? Zeke Najee's kind of hooping as of late. How was Zeke Naji like this past week? Can we look at it? Look at this. 3 games. Like, it probably didn't take a ton of 3-pointers, but 100%, 81% from the field, 8 points. Like, he's been playing like decent minutes and like playing like pretty solid, actually. Getting out and running a little bit too. So I'm kind of like, what's going on here? Like, is Zeke Naji like showing a little something again? So I don't know. We might have to wait and see. I'm just curious. I'm not trusting it, but we're watching. Just know that we're watching. The Lakers, somehow with this team, JJ Redick is just making it happen, and it is so awesome to see. Yeah, the Lakers are up to the 3 seed. They're 8-2 right now. I wrote, is Jordan Goodwin just a dog? Yes, he is. I love Jordan Goodwin on this team. If you guys are curious, Jordan Goodwin, a guy that they picked up, and I was like, hey, I'm trying to tell people this guy's like an actual like NBA player. Where is he? There he is right here. Jordan Goodwin. Since he's been here, 6 points, 4 rebounds, 52% from the field. He's like setting screens and getting a ton of offensive rebounds at what is typically a point guard. He's typically a point guard is what he kind of plays, kind of a combo guard type of guy. Kind of cool. I also have Hayes on here. Jackson Hayes, kind of hooping right now. Like, I'm not saying he's like dominant, But he's kind of hooping out there, so shout out Jackson Hayes, man. That's awesome. The Memphis Grizzlies didn't take any notes for them right now. Not the greatest streak they've ever been on. They're falling down to the 4 seed. I still really, really like this team come playoff time. But it is going to be interesting because they have a lot of key positional deficiencies still, right? Still kind of that wing spot and center spot. They got rookies there right now. Those are going to be interesting things to exploit come the offseason. The Houston Rockets, I said Amen Thompson post-ups are cool. They started posting him up at one point this week, and it was working so well for him. His footwork is crazy. I don't think there's anything Amen Thompson can't do at this point besides maybe shoot 40% from 3 and look different than his brother does. But I don't know. Amen Thompson, awesome. I think the Rockets are going to continue to fall off a little bit, though, so watch out. Just watch out. The Clippers, didn't really note anything too interesting for them this week. We'll see. 4-6 in their last 10 games. The Warriors, they're running right now, man. 7-1 since getting Jimmy Butler. 7-3 as of late. I wrote discipline to the extreme right now. You guys heard me talk about that a little bit earlier, so I don't know. They're awesome. Number 8, the Sacramento Kings. They're 6-4 as of late. Won 3 games in a row. I wrote, y'all understand why Levine is so good now? So there you go, Sacramento Kings fans. There you go. 9 with the Timberwolves. Julius Randle's coming back. I know y'all might not be excited about that, but I just wrote, play the rookies. Play them. Play them. It's not that complicated. Let Nas hoop. Let Terrence Shannon Jr. hoop. Get him on the basketball court. The Mavericks. I just don't want to talk about the Dallas Mavericks. The Phoenix Suns, I wrote, what the fuck? Like, I don't understand what I'm watching out there. I promised you guys we'd talk about it. I said, this is a coaching issue. This just is. Like, there is no excuse. Like, Devin Booker, Kevin Durant, and Bradley Beal, yes, I'm sure you guys on the internet could point out something that's wrong with those 3 players. I'm sure you could. You could do that about everybody. Congratulations, right? It's just... This team should be better. It should be better. This team should win more basketball games than it does right now. And I can't figure out for the life of me why they can't outside of coaching. When you actually sit down and watch these games, they're just all just standing around waiting for someone with the basketball to do something. Coach, take control. Like, I haven't been a huge Coach Bud guy, and it's just, I don't know. It's frustrating. By the way, I see a little conditional formatting issue, so I'm going to fix that now while I'm actually here and thinking about it. Let's go put a little top border on that. There we go. Now it's all nice and clean. But no, this is a coaching issue, man. You got to fix this stuff. 12 here at the Portland Trail Blazers. They continue to win some basketball games. Don't know what's going on here. I said, let Klingon be a hub. I'm telling you. 13 for the Spurs. I said, don't ever underestimate Bismack Biyombo. They gave him a contract. I've been saying, you can always throw Bismack Biyombo on the court, and they're doing it. The Pelicans. I don't know what's going on with the Pelicans, man. Do you guys know what's going on with the Pelicans? Just, I don't know. They're rolling the ball out there. They're doing things. Zion had a crazy dunk this week. Dude looks like he's in good shape. And then we have the Jazz down here. I just said, what the fuck is Collier? You guys are going to hate me for how much I'm cursing in this video, but you know what? I'm passionate. Yeah, like we talked about with Collier. I just don't know what is going on with this guy. What an interesting basketball player. But anyway, that's last week in the NBA. Stay tuned for the comment to the video. Alrighty, y'all. Comment to the video is coming from the Is Rasheer Fleming NBA Ready. That's my NBA draft video. By the way, just before I even get to the comment, thank you guys for watching these videos. They're actually performing decently well on the channel. I'm probably going to do 2 more this week. You guys are going to get one tomorrow to watch. I'm going to record it actually probably right after this. These are my favorite videos to do in the series. I think they're a lot of fun. We crack some jokes. We learn some things. And yeah, no, I just think they're a good time. There were a lot of good comments between this mock draft one and this one, so you should go read the comments yourself. I think it's a lot of fun. But we're going to pull back the curtain and talk a little bit more business-wise here, because I got a comment from Morse Code MC here. He said, I hate that you feel the need to qualify yourself every video and attach yourself to an NBA team in every video. Let the scouting report speak for itself, in my opinion. Feels needy, but I do love the vids. Yeah, like, it's not a hate comment at all. Like, I hope that's clear. And I responded because I'm like, hey, like, I hope you guys know why I do this, right? And it's probably not very obvious, but YouTube is a business for me, right? Like, I make money off this channel. There's a reason that I tend to start these videos off by saying, like, hey, just so you guys know, this is my role with NBA teams. This is what my experience is. Like, I kind of qualify my expertise for why I talk about this stuff on YouTube and why I think I provide a little bit more value than maybe the average YouTuber does. But only 25% of my viewership is returners to videos, which means 75% of the views that I get on these things are people that have never seen me before. So that's kind of why I qualify things a lot of the time, especially with videos like this where I'm doing an analysis. I'm not just some random guy doing this stuff. I have been at certain levels of things, and so I'm trying to establish a brand a little bit. As things grow, on the channel. I'm only at 3.67K subscribers right now. A reminder to go subscribe and comment and do all those things, because as you can see, I respond to every single comment, and it's a lot of fun to do so. But just pulling back the curtain so you guys can see the business side of things a little bit more. But seriously, thank you for the comment, because it gives me the opportunity to talk about things. But anyway, I appreciate you guys as always. Go leave a comment, and maybe you'll be the comment of the video next time. And hey, thanks so much. Have a wonderful week. Talk to you later. Bye.